everybody, I am of course the Invertebrarian. I must apologise about the backdrop, but due to things going on in the home, I've had to come and hide through in one of the other rooms. We're back with an interview with, and today's guest I'm really excited to do an interview with, but I would also like to take a moment to thank our last guest, Amy of Pet Rock and Roll. Today I received some awesome goodies. That's upside down. Really awesome goodies. A huge thank you. Oh, we're upside down again. So please do go check out Pet Rock and Roll. Really awesome channel, and of course the video is there for you to watch. But in the meantime, please join us on this journey as we go and interview another awesome YouTuber. Here we go. Hello everybody, I am of course the Invertebrarian, and of course we are today joined by
Steve from Tarantula-Tastic Enclosures. How's
All right, Steve.
You're right, mate.
Thank you for joining us today. Really looking forward to this one. I hope you are too.
Yeah, I have been, mate. We've been sort of planning it for a while, and it's never actually come together. So now we're sitting down, we're doing it.
We are here. We're ready to go. Okay, we have been trying to do this for quite some time. So obviously, Tarantula-Tastic Enclosures. You've been doing the channel for about 4 months.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Mainly focusing on, well, you describe the channel. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's like there were so many other YouTubers out there that just done feeding videos and unboxing videos and all that malarkey. So I just thought, because what I do is all about building enclosures and stuff, I thought, right, I'm just going to go down that avenue and just stay away from the whole feeding videos and all that malarkey. And it seems to be doing all right. You know, people like it. So, yeah, I'm getting a good response. So, you know, I'll carry on. I think it was like one of those things where you start off and I was thinking, I'll do a couple, and if it really sort of bottoms out, then I'll just give it up. But, yeah, stuck with it, and it's going all right.
What was it that made you decide to start doing YouTube? What inspired you to think I'm going to share my passion with other people?
I think because like my message box is like full all the time with people asking me how to do stuff, like different products and all that sort of stuff. So it was like a load of people just said to me, Steve, why don't you just do a YouTube video, and then you can explain all these things without, you know, having to mail everybody back. And it hasn't stopped the messages, but which is really cool because I like really getting back to people and interacting and all that sort of stuff. But it was, it was a lot of sort of people sort of really said to me, Steve, you just got to do it. And I think the first couple were a bit nervy and all that sort of stuff. But then you sort of get into it, and you sort of personality sort of comes out a little bit more. And then, you know, yeah, I really enjoy it now. So. But it's going well, so.
It's going really well, yeah. So, what got you originally into keeping exotic pets prior to the whole enclosure design aspect? What got you, how did you start in the exotic hobby?
Well, years and years ago, I've got a mate, Dan, who works at Beverly Bugs, Dan Richardson. He was a mad spider freak, and I used to work with him years ago at Kemble's and stuff. And he used to bring in, like, have spiders delivered and all that sort of stuff at work. And I was like, yeah, well, and I've just got one. And I thought, yeah, I'll just keep one. But in the tarantula world, the one never. And then it just sort of one led to another and another. And I mean, I've had snakes, lizards, geckos and all that stuff before. But I think, like, I'm just a Spider-Man. I can't be doing with snakes and all that malarkey anymore. Don't get me wrong, they're really nice, but it just takes up so much room. Massive snake tanks and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was mainly Dan, I think, sort of got my interest involved in them, and then it just sort of spiraled from there, out of control.
As it does, it's a very addictive hobby. And as you said, you focus mostly on the building backgrounds. What's been your favourite one to build, and what has been the absolute bane of your existence? What's your biggest regret?
I don't think I've really regretted any of them. There's some where I've sort of started them. I'd like the catacombs one I've done where I had to make like hundreds and hundreds of tiny little bones to stick everywhere. It just took months, and it was just like there was so many times when I thought, oh, I just can't be bothered. I just, you know, and I kept leaving it and then coming back to it and then leaving it, and then in the end I thought, right, it's got to be done and finished. And the finished article is really cool, and so I'm glad that it actually went. But during that process, I nearly just sort of binned it off about 4 or 5 times. I just really, you know, because the bones were so small, and you're making each one out of air dry clay individually, and then you have to dry them out, and it just
sounds supremely tedious.
Yeah, extremely tedious. But at the end of the day, the end effect was cool. But I suppose all the horror themed ones I really, really like. And the Goonie one I'm doing at the minute is that's just a labour of love. I'm just loving every minute of it. I just want it. This is going to be the best one.
If you could build an enclosure for any animal whatsoever, any theme, any concept, any animal in the world, go on, tell us, what would it be? What would you do?
I'd like to do something really mad, like a crocodile enclosure, something really mad. I mean, we had a guy who's on the group. He does like enclosures at zoos up in Scotland somewhere, and I was like, it's just got to be the best job ever. You know, you just on building stuff from like my scale transformed into something huge, like a massive crocodile, but fully sort of jungle themed, making it look awesome would be awesome. Plus you'd have all the water and all that sort of stuff to do as well. Something massive like that would be awesome. Exotic, yeah, all the detail and everything.
So what would be your dream pet if you could have absolutely any pet whatsoever? What would be your dream pet?
I don't know, wolf, I think.
And what about on the other scale of that? What would be your absolute nightmare pet to keep? What would you absolutely detest? What animal fears you?
What animal? Cows. I've got a phobia with cows. I cannot.
Funnily enough, yeah, because
I cannot stand cows.
Cornwall, don't you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, like when we went away to like Cornwall at the weekend, we had to go trek through a cow field, and I had to run through it, and like everybody's laughing at me, but I've literally got that fear, and it's just like it's just the way they look at you, and when they start walking over to you, that's it, I'm gone. It's just like I had actual phobia. So like I think that's why a lot of beef. It's just like it's my one man like sort of thing to try and decrease the cow population of the world, but I'm not working.
Yeah, had it not been for this whole lockdown thing, I was going to like try and find a cattle market near you and get you a day out to a cattle market. But that kind of was scunnered due to this virus. And obviously, most people are on lockdown just now, so I was going to ask you to recommend 3 channels, but we're going to up that to 5 channels because people are probably getting quite bored by now. So 5 channels for people to go and watch that perhaps have not discovered before. 5 channels to basically pastime, entertain people, or educate. Your choice. On you go.
5 channels. What YouTube channels? There's Rocky Mountain. Oh right. What? TV channels?
No, YouTube channels. I'm taking
YouTube channels, right? Rocky Mountain Spiders. They're a couple of guys who live up in the mountains up in America. They're really cool guys that I've been talking to. Gibby's Tarantulas. That's another one. She's a real cool thing. I'm sort of who else? There's a guy called Chuck Hall. He's scorpions. He does really cool stuff with scorpions. A lot of American guys, actually. Obviously, alternative inverts. I watch him loads. Pet Rock and Roll. Scots inverts. I don't know. There's loads. I watch loads. But you know, you see a lot of them. You sort of like you steal a bit of ideas from when they're building stuff, you know, and you think, I can use that sort of thing. So I use it as a watching other people's stuff to just sort of get ideas for myself. Not necessarily the unboxing and all that malarkey, but it's just the way they do their enclosures and all that malarkey might give me sort of inspiration.
So a lot of yours are inspired by horror-themed concepts.
Yeah.
I've got a little mini horror quiz to test your knowledge of the horror genre.
All right, yeah.
Your first question is, how did Freddy Krueger end up getting burned?
How did he end up getting burned? All the family chased him into the boiler room and set the boiler room on fire. Yeah.
What is the name of the murderer who possesses the Chucky doll?
Oh no, you got me on that one. I'm not a big no, I ain't got that one. No,
it's Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
How many Saw movies have there been made?
7, I believe, isn't it? Is it 7?
8. You're
8.
close. I thought 7 when I was looking at questions. Which, you're going to love this one, which famous comedian appeared as an itty-bitty little tiny role in American Werewolf in London?
Oh, Rick Mao.
Can you name what his character title was on the IMDb credits for Rick Mail?
Don't know. It must have been something like Man Playing Chess or something.
Chess Player 2.
Yeah.
Can you name the line spoken by Rick Mail in that film?
I can't actually. I've seen that film a million times and my brain has gone blank. It's one of my all-time favourite films as well.
I know. It's the constant remember the Alamo!
Right, yeah, that's it, yeah.
What torn poster can be found in the basement of the Evil Dead?
Yeah, Hills Have Eyes.
Correct. What was the original working title for Army of Darkness before it became Army of Darkness?
I don't know that one, actually. I don't know. Evil Dead 3.
Nah, it was Medieval Dead. You're close.
Oh, right, yeah.
Now, I know, obviously, you go on about, and one question I always ask is, what's your favourite horror film? But I happen to know that horror isn't particularly one of you love horror. I get that.
Yeah.
But there's another genre I know you absolutely love and adore. So, what is your favourite chick flick?
No, I don't know. That's my missus, really, seriously. But no, God, if you was having a chick flick, probably, I don't know, 4 Weddings, because that's pretty cool. It's quite funny as well, amusing.
Fair enough. And I know you have a huge passion in music. You absolutely love music.
Yeah.
You have quite a huge, eclectic, eccentric variety of taste. But one thing I was really surprised to discover was you were a huge raver.
Yeah, big 90s raver.
Heads up. Come on, show us your moves. Right, we'll cut that before we get done for copyright.
Yeah, do that. Get that one.
Next question, completely stupid one. What does it feel like doing a video as the man with the second greatest set of hair on YouTube?
You see, I wouldn't know that, mate, because you're... That's the other guy on the other side of the camera.
What's been your biggest challenge doing YouTube, apart from being hair envy?
I think nerves at first. Nerves, big time at first. I think the first one I'd done like 100 takes just to actually. It just was like your mouth was full of marbles and you couldn't get out what you wanted to say, you know.
I think I've said this a million times. Right, the first maybe 10 videos or so of mine are literally just a shaky camera. There's no audio, there's no sound.
Yeah.
It's like scared to even breathe. It's literally just.
Yeah. Well, I think that was. I mean, because really, it was just sort of the intro bit that I found difficult, like looking at the camera. But then, like through the rest of the start of the video, because you only saw my hands, that was a lot easier because I just found it easier just to talk while you're doing stuff, and I found that a lot easier. It was just the intros and the bye bit that was really sort of nervy at first. But yeah, that's where.
You getting there? You're doing really well. As I say, channels, going.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
What food would best represent you if you were a food? What would you be?
A lasagna. Many layers.
If you could only have one of the following, what would it be? Reese's Pieces or Twinkies?
Reese's Pieces. Big time.
Because I know you're a fan of both.
Yeah.
Good old top quality question. Keep, sell, or breed? So here is your keep, sell, or breed. Scarlet of the Black Widow's Web. Paden of Paden Tarantulas. And of course our good old Bugman Sam.
So what have we got to do?
Keep, sell, breed.
Keep, Sam, breed. What was the other two?
Paden and Scarlet.
Scarlet and yeah.
Say silk 3 times.
Pardon?
Say silk 3 times.
Silk.
What do cows drink?
Milk.
I had to throw that in because I know you love cows. Of course, we all know cows drink water. I was looking through, obviously, you're hating this.
Yeah.
I was looking through your list of likes. And one thing that really jumped out at me that you had as a like was testes. And I was wondering what exactly.
Oh, right, yeah.
What do you find so funny about testes?
Oh, it was off the wall, bizarre. It was a bizarre series. It was just like, really, I think we found it. Me and my missus were watching it by accident. It just came on, and it was all like, it was like on in the background sort of thing. And then the next thing I know, it was like taking pills to test like their manhood's growing or something. And we're like, what's going on here? And it was just like, oh, we've got to watch this. But it was just like a mad show.
And I know you love playing games. We played possibly the longest game ever of Hot or Cold. So I've created, obviously we've had a couple of little games here. I've created another little game for you. You pick one or other. Coir or topsoil?
Cocoa fibre, yeah.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Tea or coffee?
I don't drink either.
Oh, no. Red or brown sauce?
Brown.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
X video or X hamster?
Hamster.
Now, we know, obviously, you love testes and you spend a lot of time playing with wood. You're quite... what advice would you give to somebody that was wanting to start looking at playing with wood themselves?
Get some decent tools. Yeah, if you're gonna do it properly, thing I was first, measure twice, cut once. That's the main thing. The last thing you want to do is go out. But it's the right tools. You've got to have the right tools for the job. You can't go out with the hand saws and all that sort of stuff. If you want it to stay together and stuff, right tools, just do loads and loads of research. And to be honest, it's quite simple. I mean, if you're building anything from like the wooden stuff, like these little things, or like big vivs, it is pretty simple. If you've got like table saw or something like that, building the box is easy. Completely easy.
Says you.
No, it is. It is really
What's
easy.
your favourite material to work with? Obviously, you worked with a number of different things. So you've got wood, glass, acrylic.
I like working with wood because that's my background. So I find it really easy. Plus, I've got all the tools at hand. So, but wood, but glass and stuff I've worked with as well. Glass enclosures. I've never done anything with acrylic, to be honest. Nothing with acrylic. So maybe that's one for the future. I don't know. But
have you got any spoilers you'd like to share with us here today? Any new pet arrivals? Anything on it?
No, nothing at the minute. It's while lockdown's on, it's just like staying at home. Just that's the thing with me. I build an enclosure and then figure out what to put in it.
Right.
It's just all right. You build it to a certain, if it's a boreal or whatever. But once you build it, and then I'll go away and then I'll think, right, what will? It's part of the whole design as well. So you know what's rough sort of spider would go in it. It's just right that what would look the coolest in it.
Have you decided who's going to be your goonie then? Who's going to be searching?
I'm thinking Pocotheria commune, because I've done 2 hides either side of the skull. So I think that would be really cool, covered with leather.
And what haven't you got that you would love to add to the collection?
I haven't got a P Metallica. Then I think, I mean, I've always wanted one of those, but it's like sometimes it's the cost of them, and I'm not a big lover of getting tiny little slings. I prefer buying stuff like 3-4 centimeters at a time, because I can't be dealing with tiny little bugs and all that sort of. It's because
if you've got a decent sized garden, you can always get yourself a calf out of there, and you could, as it grows, you can overcome your fear again.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. When we move, it's we're looking at different places for an actual spider room and all that sort of stuff. But at the minute, the Cornwall moves off for a while because of the lockdown. Everything's gone out the water at me, so we're here for a while longer yet. So.
Well, Steve, you'll be glad to know that as you come to the end of your
wicked man.
journey here. It was rather quick and painless. What we do know is that you love ex-hamster over ex-video, and you're a man that loves testes and playing with wood. So, on that note, I think we have succeeded here. Avoid those cows and take care of yourself. Thank you ever so much, Steve. Everyone,
Thank
of course.
you, mate. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for letting me take part. It's been awesome. Been a good laugh. Cheers, buddy.
Thanks ever so much. And as I say, it's an amazing channel. It's completely unique from the vast majority of invert-related YouTube channels that are out there. So it stands out. It provides lots of really great information, and it inspires many to try new things and not to be afraid to play around with.
I mean, I think that was the major thing to try and do it. I mean, when I set up the Facebook group as well, I mean, when we started that, it was just like all the other, it's the same thing as well. All the other Facebook groups they're all tarantulas and stuff, and you get a few people posting a couple of enclosures and stuff on there. And then when we decided to start the group, because there wasn't any enclosure groups around, it was like, we'll try it. And then it just went to what it is now, which is really great. And a lot of people just go there for advice and just to show their stuff off and for questions. And like yourself, like the admin team and everything, it's just everybody's so happy to help. And that's what we started it for.
So far, the other thing that really stands out is that thus far, although it is a huge group, it's got a huge number of people on the page, is that it doesn't matter. You know, some people are posting these huge, elaborate, overgrown forests that probably take months to grow and evolve and lighten and misting and really in-depth natural forestry type. You've got people that are very wacky, zany, stand out. You've got people that, in comparison, are quite basic, but still they're proud to show off. And regardless of your skill set, nobody's there to belittle anybody else's designs or ideas or thoughts, and that's another standout aspect of the group that really works well.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like you get the ones that have just started out, and they're really proud of what they've done. And sometimes those ones that they've just started out, they've done this little bit, and I've taken ideas off that because I thought, wow, that's such a great idea from what you've done. And it's just, and people, like, if you say to them, oh, I'm really going to steal that, and like I'm going to use that as well, and they're like, wow, you know. And it's just like the other people will come in and say, you know, it's really good. And it's more about encouragement rather than, oh no, you know, anything else. It's sort of, we try on group just to encourage that more, to get that addiction into the building more and bigger and more exciting stuff, you know. Which is, you know, that's what it's all about, and that's what my channel is about anyway. It's just, it's nothing but just trying to share my ideas with other people and get them thinking sort of outside that box a bit. You know, you got
inside the box.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. But you know, that's it. Anyway, thank you very much, mate. You know, I'll let you go now.
Thank you. Take care of yourselves, everybody.
Cheers, buddy.
Subscribe to the channel, and we will speak to you all later. Thank you ever so much for watching.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Nice one. Bye-bye.
Here!
That was Steve of Tarantula-Tastic Enclosures. Thank you ever so much, my friend, for being part of this. And he can also be found over on Facebook. He runs the Exotic Pet Enclosure Design group. So check out, obviously, his YouTube and check out the Facebook group for some awesome build ideas, and yeah, just a really fun place to hang out and get to know other hobbyists. So that is it for us. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please do leave your comments down below. I really enjoyed doing this. It was a lot of fun, and we will join you next time for another interview with. Thank you ever so much, and goodbye.